Right. And okay. Hi. Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Thanks you all for coming, if you're here or not. And I'm Dovid Steinberg, and Baruch Hashem, I'm a musician. I was a school teacher, music teacher many years back when, and I had the great privilege and honor to be with Shlomo a lot. And I met Shlomo for the fall of '73, and at that time I grew up in what I would describe as a non-observant, conservative-oriented house, and I was a freelance musician in New York. I was a horn player, and I was on the road, and I had some experiences there, and I started looking for Shlomo, for somebody, and it's a whole lot of stories, but I finally found Shlomo, and I blasted off immediately, because being, in this book, in the course that Shalom is teaching on Sivan's, I don't remember his name, on the book we're learning on Hanukkah, for example. The back of it, he mentions that Shlomo was a charismatic person. And charismatic is like, it's true. He was charismatic, but he was so much more than charismatic. Shlomo was like unbelievable as a person. I don't know if you've heard about what the type of a person Shlomo was. To be in his presence was mind-blowing. I mean, it was just like, I never experienced, and I'd been around. Anyway, so I met Shlomo, Baruch Hashem, and by January of '76, I was Shlomo Shabbos, Baruch Hashem. He got married first time by Shlomo, and Baruch Hashem moved to Eretz Israel and met the Chevra here, and especially the Moshav was just opening up then, just starting then. So I had the great privilege to be with Shlomo and Shabbosim at the Moshav from '76 to '80. Not that many, but enough to get a really good taste, and learnings in Yerushalayim were unbelievable then. And it's just really, really something. So I'd just like to, introduce you to, my viewpoint on Shlomo, which I was always in great awe of him. He always blew my mind. Every time he always blew me away, And sometimes just walking down the street with him would be the most mind-blowing thing, to see how he deals with people in situations. In learnings, learning with Shlomo would be learning the deepest things, and always mixed with singing. And he'd be composing Niggunim, often one after another, and hopefully someone had a tape recorder, and he'd write when he'd really say, and they're going to come to him and say, that's okay, and that's okay, that's good, oh, that's a good one, and then he'd forget all of them, because he's constantly getting these Niggunim coming down. And then in the concert, like he wrote so many Niggunim, he's had so many hits, they got to sing the hits, right? And then and I just got this, so I had an amazing experience. Everybody knows these songs. For example, all those songs. And then so there's that song. And everybody, of course, knows Mizmor Dovid. Mizmor Dovid. Bom bing bom ba da ho bom ba dee da wa ya bom bom be. Great hits, right? And everybody knows. So I didn't know this until maybe last year. Ben Saying Solomon wrote a wonderful book on Shlomo Shabbos, transcribing it. He's a musicologist, among many other things, and he mentions that on this Shabbos, in the first retreat in New York, upstate New York, that Thursday night, Shlomo says he wrote "Return Again." Shabbos morning, he wrote Mizmor Dovid, and Motzi Shabbos he wrote right? So, and then I remembered I was there. I was at that retreat. That was my first thing. And you're writing 3 Niggunim like that in 4 days. You come here, you go into Thursday morning, and you come back Motzei Shabbos with 3 Niggunim like that. That's unbelievable, right? People waiting their whole lives to write one of them. So Shlomo was really, a lot of Niggunim were lost. He was asked, how many Niggunim do you write? And he said somewhere between 3,000 and 6,000 Niggunim probably. Yeah. I remember a friend of mine had an interview, Yitzhak Haut, in the middle of the Niggunim. Shlomo said he's always writing Niggunim. And Rabbi Yitzhak says, how many, this is not Yitzhak, Rabbi Yitzhak Haut, said, how many Niggunim did you wrote Niggunim? How many Niggunim have you written since it came down to you since we're talking? He says 3 or 4. Right? And then Shlomo says, what am I supposed to do? Walking around with the tape recorders taped to my mouth? What can he do? So that was going on. But my real agenda in giving these classes are 2 things. Is to share with you. Everybody knows that Shlomo writes the greatest Niggunim, the deepest things. But a lot of things, it's 21 years now since he left us. And people are not listening. I don't know how much people are listening to his Niggunim, but also you learn his Niggunim in shul or with Chevra. And a lot of these Niggunim are changing a lot. So what I'd like to do, because of the way people are hearing them, there's quite a number of reasons. First of all, you don't remember the Niggun, you're trying to figure it out and just, he probably did that, but that's the best I can do. And then you're singing it that way, and other people that don't know anything start singing it that way. So that's one way. And then another way is the Niggunim have been changing is that people don't like it that way. I'll do it my way. I like my way better. And then there's another way is that Jewish pop stars, pop artists in the religious community would be they're always looking for ways to have a hit, and they're looking for it's what they call in from communities labor, faster, more, want louder, faster. And if you go to a chatuna today, or even 20 years ago, your ears are being blasted off, which that's another agenda of mine. I won't get started with this. I mean, blasting music so you can't hear doesn't make it. My youngest daughter's chasana, mamish, anybody over 50 years old, they were out in the hall. They couldn't be in the room, So that's one thing. And then of course a prime thing, which is really very beautiful, is the chevra. And Shlomo was always saying, give me harmony, give me harmony. You've heard that. And so what that means is that Shlomo wants you to sing along with him, not the same melody, but a different melody, a harmony part. Harmony is 2 notes that sounding together. That's harmony. Which could make up a chord. When you have it together, that's 1 note. It's harmony. So people would be naturally singing along, and everybody's got nice ears, and they'd be making up their own way to sing along with Shlomo. Shlomo would be the great center, and everybody would find their place, their voice, hopefully not stepping on anybody's toes too much, and everybody would be singing the niggun like that. So one of the great nigguns in Niggunim is bum 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 bum. Let me bring this up a little bit. Boom, 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 bum, bum, boom, boom, bum, boom, bum, bum, bum. Oh, 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 hey. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Boom, boom, bum, 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 hey. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, So what happens is when Shlomo would always sing it that way. I don't recall ever Shlomo singing it not that way. And in all the recordings and I've ever heard of him, he always sang it that way. But the Chevra would give me harmony. And they would want to listen to rock and roll. Shlomo wasn't listening to rock and roll. Shlomo was listening to Hasidic music and Chazanot and maybe some folk singers, right? Because as he broke out, he started listening to folk music. Right? He was a folky, and he was a great rabbi, you know. But the Chevra will listen to rock and roll. I'm sure you heard it like that, right? So I remember I love that. And there was this man, holy brother, Yitzhak Eisenstadt, Allah Shalom. And he was Shlomo's brother. And I remember when I got close to him towards the end of his life, Hashem. And when he told me that it doesn't go I was really like upset by that, you know. Then I started thinking, well, what's Shlomo doing with this? And so was going and Shlomo's getting deep. So you check it out, you realize after a while that, you know, everything that all of Shlomo's songs are based on prayers, their Tehillim, their Tefillah, and their Tanakh. They're the Pesukim in the Torah. And Shlomo, if you ever see Shlomo davening, singing, it's hard because I'm using this computer to show you everything, but Shlomo was, you never saw Shlomo, yeah. Shlomo was deep singing. So we don't have a lot of time. So let me just get down to a couple of Niggunim that I think are important. Oh, another thing. I know I'm talking a lot, but I guess I'm sure you'll have to talk. So Shlomo felt always that he didn't write any Niggunim. He always believed, knew that he was the Kli receiving it. That his songs, he didn't sit down and write any Niggunim. He said this quite a few times. He was receiving it from upstairs. And he felt that these are holy Niggunim. And he was very upset when they were changed. Very upset when they were changed. And maybe the great offender of them all was Kel Adon. Now the second part has something. Now you notice that you probably wanted to hear and that's how it's generally sung today. Well, this is like if you sang that in front of Shlomo, he would he was very upset with that, because what happened was there was a very famous, maybe one of the most famous Jewish pop singers, who took this niggun and changed it that way, because he wants Lebedich, instead of deep, What is it? Keladon. Doesn't matter. That's how Shlomo wrote it. And he took it, turned up the juice, added through on,
Isn't there a time and place for that? Like at a wedding.
Right, very excellent, very good. Now the thing is like this. Yes, you're completely right for the energy, but you don't need to. What's your name again?
Kaisar.
Kaisar, right? Kaisar said a great point. What about what's going on when you're in the chazana? You're not going inside in the chazana. You want to be jumping around, exploding in the chazana. Well, the thing is, harmonically challenged today. All right. Anyway, so here's what's going on. So that really changes the melody. It's one note. What's the big deal? The big deal is what you're missing. Now, first of all, for years and years, all the time Shlomo was there, the Chevra were singing it this way, and until a couple of people now and then were only listening to popular music. We were singing it the way Shlomo sang it, and you could blast the roof on it. You don't have to change the niggun, the melody, to do it. But what you are missing, is this Shlomo wrote this. It's called phrasing. I'm a classically trained musician, and where I'm coming from is very different than a popular musician. Popular music, the foundations of popular music is somebody puts down a song, and like my friend Akiva said, once it's out there, it's up for grabs. And if you're a pop singer, and Tony Bennett made the hit out of I Left My Heart in San Francisco, I left my heart in San Francisco, however he sings. If you would have the nerve to sing it like Tony Bennett does, so you're singing like Tony, get your own way to sing it. What's the matter with you? What are you, Mom? You're Ghana if you're singing in my way, right? That's what popular music, not a Ghana, but that's how we're looking at it. You've got to make the song your own, right? And that's what everybody's doing. They got to make the song their own. Classical music is, you have to play the music the way the composer wrote it, and your job is to interpret the music, try to find what the real depths of the composer were, while you're expressing your own musicality within it. It's both. You have to make your own statement, but you also have to have total respect for the composition, for the composer. So if you look at what Shlomo is doing, so what he's doing is, first of all, this is a prayer. What is it? Keladon. I don't have the words in front of me right now. It's full of yearning, as almost all of Shlomo's Niggunim are, filled with yearning and depth. It's a whole different thing. It's a completely different thing. Can we try singing this together? boom bom boom 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 bing bom. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Oh wow, oh my, oh my, bee bom. Oh wow, oh la di da la di da di qua di. Oh la di oh wow. Oh la di da di da. Oh la di da. Hey oh oh oh. Oh wow, wow, wow. Hey oh wow, wow. Oh wow. Aradi 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 da. Oh wow. Oh aradi aradi da. Oh wow. We should go on when we should go on with it. But you feel how it's a completely different energy, and it's deep. And you'll find that in a gigantic number of Shlomo's Niggunim, like most people's, a good Niggun was probably, most songs have two different parts or three different parts. It's called two-part song form or three-part. And usually what you want to do is you have one part contrast to the other part. Doesn't always happen that way. And you could write very effective songs having the same. But you notice that bum 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 beam, if you just look at the rhythms of the first one, bum 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 beep bum beep bum 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 beep bum bum, as opposed to the second, actually the rhythms are the same, but they're not, they don't have the same energy. So the first ones, they'd be short. They're caressing and soft. And then it's soft. And then it goes back up to the front part again. So it's a real, he's really constructed a beautiful piece of architecture. He received this thing, and there's a story that he dedicated this song to this Russian girl. Maybe you know the story. I won't slow down telling you, but he actually composed the niggun at Yankel Shamish's Shabbos table Friday night, and Yankel Shamish was one of the high people in House of Love and Prayer back in the 60s, I guess, certainly the 60s. And he had Shlomo, he lived next door after a while. And he had Shlomo over for Shabbos, and he sees Friday night. Shlomo's like kind of tapping on the table. He says, Shlomo, you got something? And he comes out with this. So Baruch Hashem, it came down Friday night, and he remembered it. So this is a really great niggun, and something that really I'd ask everybody to please listen to Shlomo singing his own niggunim, and note that there's a big difference between the melody and the accompaniment. The accompaniment is the melody is I'm a music teacher, a complete musical idea. Stands by itself. Ding dong, bo ding dong, da ding, and everything else, the chords and the rhythms and the harmonies, that's all accompaniment, and that's going to be changing depending on the style of the arranger or the people singing it, whatever it is, and that's fine. Any old style is good. Shlomo was not a rock and roller. Rock and roll can work great with Shlomo, and you can do anything. Any style. I have my own preferences, doesn't matter. So that's real big. We've got a little bit of time left. There are a couple of really important things that what happens is that when the Niggunim change is that sometimes you're losing big. I think that this particular example of in Kayla Dome, when you're going da 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 dee da dee da 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 dee da da, it's all the same. The energy is the same. Ba bam ba beam bam beam bam beam beam ba beam bam beam. Hey da da ding da ding da boom bam boom beam boom beam. Oh di da ding da ding da ding da ding da ding 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 da da ding da ding da ding. It works. It works great. People love it. It was a super hit. I think you're missing the depths personally. So mazel tov. Anyway, one other tune I'd like to do today is Simon Tov Mazel Tov. Bum bum, hey bum bum, bum 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 bye, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. Oh, I bum, I bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum. Oh, I bum, hey, oh, oh, di di da di da da di. Oh, di da oh, di da di da di di. Now, if you've been singing it, this is the year is 2000, December 2015, and I've almost never heard it sung that way. It's always sung right? Everyone hears it that. That's what you heard, right? Did you ever hear it? And last time, boom, bum, oh, you ever hear it that way? Good. Anyway, that's how Shlomo wrote it. What's the difference between this? So if you see, he has unbelievable contrast, like we just mentioned before. First melody, Simita. By the way, in Shlomo's Niggunim, most of the time, almost always, but not always, and in most songs, the rhythms are created by the syllables of the words, by the syllables of the word. So, Simita, Zababam, Simita, Mazel Tov, Simita, Mazel Tov, Simita, Mazel Tov, and now the second time we might drop a beat, like this. It's a great nigga, isn't that great? Now you notice that we have time to start with this. We don't. Sing the melody. Let's just sing along. Someone was really swinging that melody, that rhythm. Second part now. Now the second part is almost always repeated, and this one is too. So what happens here, and when you sing it this way, the way Shlomo did it, you'll know it's sweet, and it's sweetening up. And he does it the same way both times. And he doesn't go da 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 da. Now what happens when you're going lie, 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 lie? Harmonically, it's a whole thing. Couple of concepts in music. How does music pull on our heartstrings? What's going on? How does that work? So, first of all, it's a total mystery, and it's a total mystery, and it's the greatest gift of God, maybe, you know. But we don't know how it works, but we know that it does work, and we know how to use it. Listen to classical music. Some music pulls you out there, just can blow you away, and some music doesn't do anything to you, right? So Beethoven was an unbelievable master of that. Basically, most people would agree is that when you're having a concept of consonance, we're at rest, and then as we go, this is called home key, called diatonic, and as we go away from it, that feels good, but we also always want to go home. That's we're starting here, I want to go home. And then if you get a chord like this, then you're going like this, and then you're really getting the desire, the pull to go back. So basically it's a feeling, we call it consonance, dissonance, which creates tension, emotional tension for us. There's a story about Beethoven. He was walking down the street, and someone was playing do, re, mi, boom, ba, boom, ba. And he didn't finish. He just left it on ding. And for his mind, the 19th century mind, where his ear, we're pulling, he's got ear, he can't rest. Now, of course, he only had to do was sing it, so he probably didn't, as I heard when I was in school, he probably didn't have to run home and play it on the piano, because maybe he couldn't hear that by that time anyway. But anyway, the point is that we have a need to get back home. And when Shlomo is going, and when you're going, dee da dee da dee da 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 dee da 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 da, we're back home again. So then you got to go start it up again. But what Shlomo was doing is dee da dee dee da dee da 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 da, and he's keeping you hanging there. And he's saying it again. Oi, 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 oi. It's such a beautiful melody. Also, right? And now we're coming back to that first one. Some would end the niggun like this, not at home. He is home. So what's going on there? Shlomo didn't want these tunes to end. And for many years, I was always saying my biggest problem with Shlomo and Niggunim, especially the recordings, they end. The song's not supposed to end. In fact, on one of his on YouTube, he's playing boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum boom boom bum boom bum boom bum boom bum bum boom bum boom bum boom bum bum boom bum boom bum boom bum. Now that's nice ending. Oh 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 da 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 da. And he ends it, and he says, "It's the endless march for peace." He didn't want his Niggunim to end. And that'll be it for today. Let's finish off with the Niggunim. What did we start with? We started with Keladon. How about Keladon as we fade out? Okay. Boom 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 bum. Boom bum boom 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 boom. Hey da boom bum boom bum boom bum. Oh wow, oh wow, oh oi da boo, oi da boo, oi da, oh wow, da dee da, oh da dee da dee da, oh wow, da da, hey da boom, 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 oh wow, 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 hey wow. Oh wow, oh di da di da di da, oh wow, di da, oh wow, di da di da, da da da. Good Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos, Freilich, Chanukah Sameach. Thanks for coming. All the best. Shabbos.
Do you also teach guitar?
For my level, yeah.